Hola, hola, buenos dias, G and Gs. My name is Trekk with 2Ks, and this is Weekend Crypto, brought to you here on the Gentlemen of Crypto TV. Oh, actually, Gentlemen of Crypto YouTube channel. Sorry. But nonetheless, y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Because if you're a warrior, you already been here for a minute, so you know what's up. I do want to say before I get into these stories that I am thankful for the folks who are still tapping in, considering what's going on in the market right now with all the negativity talk, with all the price talk down stuff, with all the contagion things happening. Folks are still looking to tap in and definitely find out what's going on the weekend. And trust me, there are things coming out over the weekend when it comes to this whole crypto space thing, right? Blockchain technology and all that fun stuff. Now, I'm not going to say there was a ton of things this weekend, but some things did come out. So that's what I'm going to get into. But I do want to say thank you for the lurkers. Thank you for the scammers. Thank you for the folks who are leaving comments, the folks who are sharing, the folks who are giving a thumbs up. I appreciate y'all and on behalf of Zay and King, I just want to say thank y'all. I do have an abundance of gratitude for y'all coming back and like listening to me and my qualitative observations, aka rambles on how I see this space. So let's jump into these stories right now. All right. I seen this pop up someplace else. I forgot where it was. I seen it before, but apparently this is the talk of the town right now about how the Taliban is targeting Afghan crypto users. And basically, I seen one story that was like, oh, they are seeing crypto exchanges as forex trading, and so it's un-Islamic. When I tell you the level of ignorance that is being projected around how the Taliban and Afghans understand blockchain and crypto technology is mind-blowing. And I think a part of it is a BS narrative, but then you get certain quotes coming out that just like really make you go, wow, are we really that ignorant? Are we just saying sound bites for the camera? I don't know. Or anywho, let's get into this. So basically, the Afghan central bank declares crypto illegal last month. The Taliban government is now enforcing a ban. 13 people got arrested in a city called Herat, and 20 businesses have been closed down. Now, I would argue, and it actually is brought up in this article, this is actually one of the few articles that I've seen bring up the fact that the US government has kept the Afghans treasury fund, which is like $7 billion. Once the Taliban officially came in, the US was just like, nah, we not giving you your funds. We gonna keep it because we don't like y'all. Bottom line. Even though the US was arguably who made it possible for the Taliban to make the flip and be in official government position right now. And nobody talks about how China's been in talks with the Taliban for like over a year, and they knew the transition was going to happen. Just saying, these are the things you don't hear in X amount of the American or Western media stories. So jumping into this next thing, the central bank gave us an order to stop all money changers, individuals, and business people from trading fraudulent digital currencies like what is commonly referred to as Bitcoin, stated Herat's police head of criminal investigation, Shahad Sadat. Yo, I seen another quote by this dude in another article that I was reading. I mean, I don't know if he really this ignorant on how the tech work, but man, when I tell you it was mind blowing to me because he was basically like, our people don't know how to use technology, so and we don't understand it, so we should just have everyone stay away from it. It was mind blowing to me. Bottom line is, this is what's going on right now. They do touch on a topic about how the US, like I said, took the treasury and seized it and was like, yeah, we're just going to keep it. It is what it is. Y'all can't do nothing about it. Yay. So here's another thing to note about this. I've been saying this for like months now, damn near a year or better. We're going to see countries and jurisdictions move in different ways about this whole blockchain cryptocurrency thing. Some places are going to be friendly, some places are not going to be friendly. Eventually, at some point, whatever or whoever is in charge of the Afghan government, they're going to have to figure out how to utilize this blockchain technology. Is it going to be what the West likes? More than likely not. But even the West is going to have to get on board with what's going on with the blockchain technology in the use case of cryptocurrency. So moving on to the next thing. So here you have it. I seen this floating around on Twitter earlier today, and I didn't know exactly what it was about. And then I came across the article when I was looking for what's been going on. So Ave Lab dismisses conspiracy alleging Avalanche paid lawyers to sue competitors. At first, I'm like, let me read through the story to see what's going on. So here's the takeaway. A new report from Crypto Leaks. I haven't read Crypto Leaks. I didn't. I'll probably follow up with it later on about Crypto Leaks and see what that's about. But I haven't looked into Crypto Leaks' original version of what this whole thing is about. So basically, they're saying a new report from Crypto Leaks alleges that Aave Labs paid off Roach Friedman to attack its competitors and keep regulators at bay. Roach Friedman's founding partner, Kyle Roach, appears to claim that he received AVAX tokens and Aave Lab stock as part of a secret arrangement to help the project. Aave Lab founder and CEO Gun Siriri, I don't even know how to say his name, let me stop, has described the piece as a conspiracy theory nonsense. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna say. Industrial espionage, there we go, is a real thing. It has been a real thing as long as corporations have existed. They literally just arrested somebody the other day from that was affiliated with something related to China, I think. The person was like on the way to the airport when they arrested them, okay? Industrial espionage is a real thing. And on the other side of it, companies suing other companies in order to throttle their market adoption, their product development, their brand relevance is a real thing too. Now, I say that to say this. For what is being alleged right now by Crypto Leaks, I don't know if any of that is real. What I do know is real is that companies do sue other companies to throttle their markets, to throttle their expansion. So I know that those things are real. What gets me about this article, and I'm not even going to read these highlights like that anymore, because now that I say what I said, it's not even that relevant. But the point is that apparently there's a video and it's a person asking this guy questions and he's admitting to certain things, okay? And so if you don't know, Roach Friedman is a legal firm. I don't know if they're based out of here on the East Coast side or they're based out of Cali, but they definitely do have experience in the crypto space. And let me just read this part. They're a legal firm known for their various dealings in the crypto space. It recently sued Binance US over a Terra collapse and filed a lawsuit against Solana Labs, claiming Sol was an illegal security. So they're not new to taking things to court is the bottom line. Now, my thing about this whole allegation is, where's the transactions? Where's the wallet address? If you saying that you did this, and you know what? I'm gonna say this. Here's the other part that gets me. Where is it at? Okay, so no, you know what? Let me read this part, but I'm gonna throw it into my other thought process on this. The subject later says that he has insider knowledge of how crypto space operates. The crypto space operates because I sue half of the companies in this space. I know where the market is going, he says. He later claims that Roach Friedman's lawsuits have acted as a distraction for US regulators, drawing attention away from Aave Labs. They haven't been sued yet, and there's a reason for that, he says. I deal with making sure the SEC and the CFTC have other magnets to go after. He also adds that he has helped ensure that there's no such thing as regulation for Aave Labs. Now, big ass claims, really big ass claims. Again, there's no evidence of wallet transactions because this person is claiming that the law firm was able to get X amount of token share, which is like on Andreas, or what the hell, how do you say the dude's name? Andrew Horowitz. This person is claiming that they were able to get token share on Andrew Horowitz level, and they were also able to get stock. Where's the transaction history? This is one of the things I also keep saying about what I am very much being discontented with in this space is that blockchains are transparent. I'm gonna say this up close. Blockchains are transparent, but the businesses that are being developed and created to operate blockchain technology are not. And they're following their traditional other sector financial side stuff that's going on. And where, guess what? They do shady things. Just saying, it's not like rocket science on this. Not saying that this stuff is 100% true, but I do know certain things. Companies sue other companies to mess with their revenue model. That's a thing. What's the other thing I wanted to jump at on this? Oh, here's why I think that what's his face, Emin, he could have responded better to this because he basically makes it seem like, oh, that's just conjecture, allegations, conspiracy theory stuff. Come on, bro. Come on now. You could have gave a better thing than that and just been like, yo, how about you just show us some wallet transactions? Where did we give you our tokens at? Show us that. Shut the whole shit down that way. If you don't got no wallet transactions, get out of here with that. But no, that's not what he did. He tried to go this way. We're like, oh no, that's crazy. We would never do blah, blah, blah. And I keep saying to y'all, Twitter posts, AMAs, fireside chats, main stage talking, slide decks, all of that stuff. None of that stuff is done under oath, and it means nothing in relation to what is the commitment on a technical level to how things are really going in the company. Founders and CEOs and like the talking mouths have to be confident in the public. They can't tell you what's really going on. Just saying. Also, other thing to know, and I'm moving on to this next thing. Binance CEO CZ comes in and is, oh, that's wild. Bruh, I feel like CZ been sitting back looking at stuff, and your man has been over here like slowly but surely sideways spilling the tea on some things. I'm just saying, he one of the people to pay attention to right now. I'm gonna move on to this next story. So Ethiopian crypto providers will now need to register with Crypto Cybersecurity Agency. This story is actually wild coming out of Ethiopia on the end of they went straight. They didn't go, okay, we're going to put it into a special task force that is for law enforcement or financial crimes. They went straight to the cyber side. No, there's a stop. No, straight to the cyber side. Now, my take on this is they're running under, oh, this is about national security, right? And then this is also a digital thing. So we're going to put it on the side of cybersecurity agency. So here it says cryptocurrency providers that are operating within Ethiopia have been instructed to register with National Cybersecurity Agency. This is going to kill their industry. Let me not say kill. I will say it will throttle their business startups and anything looking to deal in that. This is coming with a whole bunch of strings attached. Like, it ain't just, oh, sign your name on a dotted line. It's nah, dog. You got to give us the passcode. You got to let us know where you sleeping. Oh, you know what? We already know where you sleeping at, but here's the phone. So when we call you, you need to pick up right away. Better yet, we're just going to interrupt on your phone. I'm totally making that shit up. But you're basically saying that the cybersecurity agency, which is the Information Network Security Administrative, which is a weird ass name, nonetheless, that's really an intel agency. That's really an intel agency, dog. It's a cyber intel agency, and they're just naming it something else. And I don't know if to say they're wrong for what they're doing, but I will say this will negatively impact how crypto companies or blockchain related companies develop in that part of the world within Africa, especially considering what is going on with the other countries, such as the Central African Republic and what they're doing, what's going on in Nigeria, what's going on in Ghana, what's going on in Kenya, what's going on in South Africa. Like, you guys are running in a different direction. I also argue, I know I did all these highlights and now I'm just like, blah, 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 whatever. This is also them looking at capital flight control. If you've been paying attention to how I've been covering these weekend crypto events, there's more and more regulation coming out that basically is like, hey, we need to be able to track, throttle, and control how you're moving your funds. And I got another story too that actually is another example of this. But nonetheless, this is what's going on in Ethiopia right now. And I'm surprised I actually haven't seen that at any of the other things that I pay attention to in relation to news coming out of that way. This is the first time I've seen this one. But nonetheless, this is what's going on. Shout out to my Ethiopian folks. Y'all definitely make some of the greatest food. Yeah, I'm hungry now. Sorry. Nonetheless, moving on. Was there anything else that I wanted? Not really. Like I said, this is just dumb. The central bank saying one thing, they're using the government element to enforce it. I would argue technically this is a intelligence department. They're just not calling it that. And yeah, and there's also probably some other things playing out behind the scenes that made them push this straight to a cybersecurity department or an agency as opposed to like a financial criminal justice department or something or agency. Just saying, my thought process, not anybody else's. New competitor carves away OpenSea's non-fungible token market. So I had covered this, I think, over on CBTV. No, we were doing a live stream on a Kicking It session, and we were talking about this company. What is interesting about this company is, what's the name of the company? The name of the company is called SudoSwap. So, crypto insights from firm Mazzara notes that the decentralized NFT marketplace SudoSwap has started to cut into OpenSea's stronghold on the NFT space, with its daily trading volume reaching 10% of OpenSea's in less than a month. Now, they literally just opened up this summer. I do question some of the things going on with them because one, let me jump up with y'all. One, they got money coming on the back end from VC stuff. Two, the dude who actually is the head of this, he even said it in another interview, like, hey, this is about like us just experimenting to see if this model works and is it sustainable. So here you have it that, let me jump back in. Basically, this is a secondary market and it's a bunch of different NFTs that can be sold on here. And what they're doing is, as like the growth hack to get people in, is you don't pay royalties to the creator of the NFT. No one's really addressing that. It doesn't address that in this article, but it is something that has been brought up before, in that I would argue what this platform is introducing is the change in narrative of NFTs being used to be able to, as a creator of content, get your royalties. Also, people do not understand the feature, not function, the feature of paying royalties based on the NFT and the content as it is in a smart contract. That's something you turn off and on. Rarible, Mintable, all the other EVM related marketplaces, that's literally a feature they turn on. They can very easily turn it off. So we're seeing right now, aside from the fact that this is just a product placement article, I'm not even going to run through the whole thing about it, but yeah, they really been making a lot of money. They definitely have some backings from certain folks that I'm not a fan of myself. It is what it is right now. And they are also, they make it sound like they're like anti-automated market makers, but they're using a newer version of an automated auto market maker. And again, the idea of how they're growth hacking to get people in is, hey, we're going to have a lower fee of 0.5 for you to deal with paying stuff out. And again, they turned off the feature for the royalty payout function. Now, you can't mint directly on the platform. You already have to have the thing, and then you bring it over, and then you're selling it off that way. I think we're watching before our eyes the change of the narrative about NFTs and royalties, because this is an experimentation on, will this model work? If they make it into next year, we know that the model has a certain level of sustainability and that folks will be able to make money. But what does this mean for the creator? I don't know. We'll see how this works out going down the road. Jumping into this next story. Yeah, okay. CoinSwitch Coup is fully cooperating with India's enforcement. I always mess up with this word. Direct. There we go. CEO says. So I had talked about this, I think last week too, where there was an article that came out about how the Indian government had basically froze the funds of a local cryptocurrency exchange that was connected to another bigger parent exchange outside of India. And so they're like, hey, there's illegal activities going on with these startup things connected to crypto, and you guys are how they're moving their funds. So we're freezing all of your stuff because you have this particular entity here in our jurisdiction. Again, capital flight control. Because what got me was, there's no mention between this article that I've seen today, as well as the other one from before and something else I was looking at, of what are the actual names of these companies that they're going after. Now, granted, you might argue the whole thing about, oh, that doesn't help with counterintelligence and stuff like that for how the investigation is going, blah, 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 blah. Listen, here's what I know. CoinSwitch Kuber co-founder and CEO Ashish, I think I'm saying it right, said Saturday on Twitter that his firm is cooperating with India's enforcement directorate and that last week's reported searches were not related to money laundering. My man is straight talking bullshit. It is damn near 99% related to money laundering, because the only reason they subpoenaed your thing because they were going after the other companies to figure out how were they moving the money, but they don't necessarily understand how your company is set up for them to be able to get the fiat in, which is whichever, I don't even remember what the local Indian currency is. But the thing here is, They're getting the fiat in, converting it into what cryptocurrencies your exchange uses, and then they're pushing it out into another wallet or exchange or something that the local government does not have any ability to influence. So what do? You go after the company that's in your backyard. That's what this is, in my opinion. But I'm just some guy on the internet. Just remember that, y'all. What is the other thing? Oh, so on Saturday's report, Reuters said that per a source with knowledge of the process, financial records were seized during the office visit, and officials asked questions regarding the foreign investments, income and outflow, and checks on compliances, which means, hey, we need to know, did you follow the transportation laws and policies that fall within compliance? And we need to start gathering X amount of the information in. Other thing to note, there's a whistleblower situation going on right now with Twitter. And one of the things the whistleblower alleged, right, was that the Indian government told them they had to get one of the intelligence people on the payroll to deal with the Indian version of Twitter. That's a big allegation to make. All I'm saying is folks forget how Verizon, I think it was Verizon or it was when it was AT&T, they used to have a room and where the law enforcement agents would sit in and just straight tap in on the data as it was flowing back and forth on the international cable lines. Folks forgot about that. If you've been in tech for a minute, you know exactly what I'm talking about. This to me reads like one of those situations, but again, I be throwing everything under capital flight controls. Whether you're talking about illegal activity or quote legal activity, it's still the same thing to me. Moving on to this next joint. Piece supporting lawyers blast former SEC chair Jay Clayton for lack of clarity on crypto regulations. So here's the thing that got me about this story. And I actually follow John Deaton on Twitter. He be dropping some stuff. Not gonna lie, he really does. He's very big proponent for XRP making it through the case and stuff, and then definitely calling out the SEC on the BS and stuff that they've been going with. But his basic point is that here it is, the former chairman on the SEC, he ends up leaving out, doing what he does. He moved, yo, your man moved over into the private sector and is about to get a whopping pay upgrade. When I tell you whopping, I forgot the name for the company, but he basically did the revolving door thing. He worked on the federal side. He did the New York bit license shit. Your man worked in the agency that had the governing policy influence. He then exits out, and now he just got picked up by, I think it was a VC firm or some capital funding firm, where he's helping new companies and other established companies move through the regulatory setup or the regulatory turmoil ocean, whatever you want to call it. Your man literally did the same shit dude from New York did, where he helped write the policy and then made a consulting firm that help people get the bit license. But they still have like under 50 companies have gotten a bit license in New York. How does that work? This is the country we live in. These are the people we don't vote for. I'm going to bring it back to that every time. These are the people we don't vote for who are doing this shady ass shit. Nonetheless, basically, that's what he was basically getting into, where John is like, hey, he basically made the situation unclear, but he still looked to help push out policies did affect the industry, but they weren't clear. And so things are up to interpretation. And then businesses are, quote, afraid to actually make maneuvers or do certain things because they don't know what the actual like black and white of it is as far as the regulation is concerned. And that's basically what he's saying in this. And then he also throws the jab about him. Where is it at? Yeah, landing. So what is it? Now you're landing a job to serve as an advisor to help companies navigate the uncertainty that he created. That's John's point. And I'm not going to lie, I agree with him on that one. I definitely do. So now jumping into this next story, the only reason I ran with this one, CoinCilium CEO deems CBDCs as a small niche versus BTC and other cryptocurrencies. So arguably a product placement thing for crypto product, whatever. But here we go. The development of central bank digital currencies, or as I call them, blue dogs, is picking up pace. But CoinCilium CEO Teddy Travia, I'm going to say it's Travia, is not concerned about their impact as he thinks they fail to give users an edge over existing private crypto options. Now, you also got to look at it this way, though. I'm going to say this is that, yeah, these things are here, but the CBDCs and the people who are backing that are going to have the regulators on their side to quell and quash the competition so they can then bring these things online. Now, the whole part of like market adoption is another thing. And then that's going to get into that thing of where they start doing things to force the public to use it. He doesn't address that in this article. That's one of the things I actually didn't like about how he's talking about his product and making it seem like we're going to be the best thing since sliced bread. Like we know what's going on. Okay, sir. Okay. Nonetheless, Concilium is an open finance venture operator specializing in blockchain technology. What does that mean? What do you do? That's basically soup, salad, and shit, man. Like, that didn't tell me nothing about what the company actually does. And I know more than likely, they definitely register with FinCEN, the CFTF. They're definitely on the SEEK's radar. So what are you really going to do different? I don't know, but anywho, it might not even be a B2C thing. This might be a B2B level company. I don't know. According to the American think tank, the Atlantic Council, 11 countries have launched a CBDC project, 14 are running pilots, 26 are actively developing, and 47 are researching the concept. I actually thought that number was pretty interesting for the breakdown of who launched a project and then who's running a project and actively developing. How do you distinguish between actively developing and just researching? As in, you just, you know what? Let me not run down that rabbit hole. I'm running long on time anyhow. So I got one more for y'all on this one. Was there anything else that was actually interesting in the story? What is it? He talks about, not him, but the article goes into talk about the issue was not helped by the Bank of International Settlement general manager, Augustin Carson, who recently said the soul of money belongs to trust and only central banks can be trusted. I wanted to go over that because that's some virtue signaling shit. I'm gonna say it again. That's some virtue signaling shit because they're trying to keep the system set up for the way it was beforehand when you didn't have any ability to move your own finances the way you do within this whole cryptocurrency thing. And so that's an incumbent saying something that sounds good, but that's just them trying to make it that you see things their way. And then here's another thing, this line too. Who said this? I don't remember. Oh, so Travia said this too, or it might have been Voorhees who said it, but I don't agree that everyone in the space actually sees the space like this. I really don't. No one who's in crypto likes CBDCs. No one who understands the value of cryptocurrency likes CBDCs at all. I call bullshit on that line because there are definitely people in this space who are looking for CBDCs to come into the space in a more proliferated, like everybody got to be a part of it thing. Like there are companies and people, personalities that are pushing for more regulation to basically bring cryptos and the tenets of how we looked at things before back into the traditional system. So it sounds nice as a line, but that's not the shit that's really going on here. There are definitely folks who are fans of CBDCs, and there are definitely folks who are fans of controlling people's money who are in the space because they give two licks about the original ideologies and all that other stuff. Nonetheless, let me jump on this last story. And so this one right here, oh, when I had to read it like a couple of times just to make sure I was understanding what was going on. Compound V3 Comet launched with support for single borrowing models. Now, they totally made up the phrase single borrowing models, but let's get to it right here. Compound users can only borrow USDC stablecoin by depositing approved collaterals into the V3 pool. Collateral deposits will not earn interest, but can borrow more with less risk and lower gas fees. Now, here's what I don't understand, and I would really like somebody to reach out on this one for the technical. How do you freeze a cryptocurrency from not fluctuating in USD value and price? Because this is basically what they're saying is, we're going to have you deposit with us like a traditional bank. Because if you notice, right, in the international sense of how international markets work for arbitrage on fiat, the different fiats move up and down in value. But when you put your money in the bank, at your local bank, your dollar, your USD dollar doesn't all of a sudden be like $1.03. It's still $1. This is the model that they're trying to push into the crypto space right now. I'm calling this shit as it is. This is what they're trying to push into the space. But I'm still curious on how are they able to, on the technical side with the blockchain protocol, and what type of smart contract are they using to be able to freeze the value point, if that makes sense. They're freezing the fiat-based value point to say it's only going to be at this amount, because what would happen on Uniswap, on Aave, on MakerDAO and them is you would get the interest that would accrue. Well, you would get the increase in the value or the interest that would accrue on it. But now they're taking that away and they're saying, hey, you still got to pay the regular amount and you can't use the collateral that had the interest increased on it, because a number of people were running that game. Now they're taking it away and they want to try out a more traditional banking model. This is what we got in front of us. If I'm wrong on this, yo, definitely say something in the comments. Find me on Twitter, please, because that's what this reads like to me. I don't think this is a better product. If you a fan of Compound, hey, more power to you. I just think it looks like more of a traditional banking product, a financial instrument, and it actually takes away from the economic sovereignty or the freedom or the DeFi model that we were all hyping up over the last like 3-4 years. That's just my thought on it, though. Like I said, just here, man says it himself. While you won't earn interest on collateral anymore, you will be able to borrow more. I don't know. It's literally like taking out a loan with your bank, and then they're like, all right, we're not going to give you anything on the money that we're using to finance other things and lend out to other people, but you still got to pay us this back. And you could come back for more, but we're still going to charge you an interest rate for how much you got to pay back. And you're not getting none of what they doing with your money. This is traditional bank shit. All right, y'all, I'm done. I definitely ran longer than I needed to today. Some of these things got me more excited than I needed them to. Oh, and that's the other part of this shit too. They're doing this other funky thing where they're going to be able to stop people from forking off of the business model at the protocol layer. All right, you know what? I'm done, man. I look at the things going on in this space right now, and it is X amount more frustrating than it is encouraging at times. I'm not saying it's the end of the world. This is not financial advice by any means, but there are just some things being pushed out right now that I don't think people really understand, that they're trying to work new models in to bring the behavior patterns of how we move and interact with money back into the traditional finance setup. That's just my thought process on it. Again, if I'm wrong, yo, Twitter's open all day. We don't delete comments, and I'm here for it, okay? Other than that, my name is Trekk with 2Ks. It is a late Sunday night. This is Weekend Crypto, and it's Monday by the time you see this. I hope y'all have a good week. Let it be a productive over busy week. If you're not being productive, at least be in good company in a safe space. How about I leave you with that? 1.